Within the busy streets of España, for sure, we all have some fleeting thoughts and things we want to know more about along the ride. So, in order to give you a memorable experience, meron tayong mga makakasama during this journey. Kaya't halina't sumakay at sumabay sa aming usapan dito sa Espanya. Alright, it was really fun during our last episode kasi naman sobrang dami kong natutunan. Kaya naman ituloy lang natin to and today we'll finally be talking about something na napaka-relevant at napaka-timely sa panahon natin ngayon. Because today's episode is entitled The COVID Alphabet, wherein we will be talking about the different variants of COVID-19. But are we really aware about COVID and its variants? Do we really know them? Please don't worry because we have invited a guest for all of you to educate us more about this topic. Our guest is a visiting consultant and infectious disease specialist of various hospitals, such as the Mary Johnson Hospital and our very own University of Santo Tomas Hospital. He is also a member of the Philippine Society for Microbiology and Infectious Disease since 2021 and a diplomat and fellow in the Philippine College of Physicians from 2019 until present. He also have contributed to various research papers, such as the one, three, Streptococcus invasive Streptococcus pneumoniae Austrian syndrome in a 62-year-old male, a case report, which have won third place in Dr. Antonio J. Gonzaga Research Award. Kaya naman, ladies and gentlemen of the internet, please give it up for Dr. Rico Paulo Reyes Garcia. Good morning po, sir.
Thank you for the opportunity, for inviting me here, to discuss certain things about COVID-19, especially this, SARS-CoV-2 and its variants on how it will going to affect us individually or our community as well as in a global level, no? So I think for the past 2 years, it has already affected our lives, no? So it's about time for us to revisit again and give some updates regarding what is currently happening right now in terms of our COVID-19 pandemic. Currently, we've been seeing a lot of COVID-19 or I mean SARS-CoV-2 variants, no? So way back last 2019, we just started with the wild type Wuhan virus, no? And then it later morphed or evolved into different kinds of variants. We do have a variants under monitoring, then variants under concern. So those variants under concerns are the specific types of variants that actually causes different disease entity, no? So iba't iba yung affectation niya sa atin, no, sa mga patients as well as sa community. No, and it actually progresses the different mutations that it causes, no? Iba-iba ang characteristics. So it only shows na yung evolution talaga ng SARS-CoV-2, no, paiba-iba just to keep it on to survive, no? So up to the point that we've reached the spectrum of having the dominant Omicron variant, which recently caused the surge in the early of 2022. So we are in a better place right now. We've been for the past few weeks, we do have a very little positivity rate, no, of less than 5%, as what the WHO wants us to at least have, no. So and then, however, we've been seeing different news that the Omicron is still devastating different parts of the world, no, particularly in our neighboring countries as well as in other parts of the globe. We have faced already the different surge from different variants. We do have the alpha, then the beta, we have the gamma also, then our very own the theta variant which was discovered here in the Philippines, and then eventually the more devastating variant of concern, which is the Delta, which actually affects primarily India, but it actually sobra yung devastating effect din sa iba't ibang parts ng ng mundo, particularly in US as well as in Europe. And then most recently was the Omicron variant. So let us all remember that all viruses, whenever they replicate, whenever they infect a certain part of a patient or a body of a patient, no, it has a chances to mutate, no. So ganun talaga kasi ang characteristic ng viruses. And each replication, there is a propensity for the virus to cause a mutation. And what concerns us more with these mutations is that Omicron has lots of mutations compared from the previous uh, variants. No, actually, if I'm not mistaken, Omicron reaches around almost 50 mutations, and it has multiple mutations, no, sa spike proteins niya. So, what does it mean? So, there is an increased transmissibility. There is also the capacity to evade the immune system, no? However, we've seen cases wherein the disease severity um, was not that affected that much, no, compare from the previous variants. So nakita natin last January or late December na sobrang steep ng rise ng Omicron natin, no, which it pertains to how easily transmissible the Omicron variant is, no? Pero nakita din natin na kaunti lamang yung hospitalization. Well, we can attribute that because of our good vaccination rate, ano, during that time. Pero we've seen cases also na nagkaroon din ng mga cases na moderate to severe illnesses. Now, but what bothers us more right now is that there have been cases of sublineages already. We've been seeing in the news about the different recombinants of Omicron variants. So ibig sabihin nagsasanga-sanga na parang nagkakaroon na naman ng mga panibagong sublineages from the original Omicron variant itself. And we are actually watching the situations from different countries right now, kung ano ang kayang gawin ng mga different sublineages na to, no? As well as the Omicron recombinants.
Thank you so much, Doc, for sharing us your knowledge about the COVID-19 variant. Add ko lang po, Doc, bakit sa lahat po ng mga
Mhm.
variants, Omicron po yung nagkaroon ng mga sublineage as you told, but yung Delta po wala kahit naging malakas naman din po yung Delta.
Okay. All right. That's a good question. Actually, the different variants na nakita natin from the past few years, no, nagkaroon din naman sila ng mga sublineages, no? Especially Delta, no? Napakadaming sublineages din ng Delta. If naaalala niyo yung mga stealth Delta, no? Yung mga nagkakaroon pa siya ng iba't ibang mutations, yung sublineages ng Delta. Meron pang, if I'm not mistaken, there is a Delta 2.0 something na inilabas before, no, na inisip nila if threat ba talaga yun sa sa community, no? So meron din ibang sublineages ang iba't ibang variants before. However, yung sa Omicron, no, dito na lamang napansin nila kasi because of its high degree of transmissibility, no, and there is some more advancement when it comes to genomic sequencing. So mas marami nakikita. And it's a good question that you raise yung about sa Theta. Bakit hindi rin siya nag progress into a more infectious or more predominant variant, no? Kasi these recombinants or these sublineages or these kinds of mutations still need to be transmitted. Halimbawa, nag-mutate ang isang virus sa isang pasyente, no? It has a capacity to be transmitted again, no? It still need to be transmitted again to a certain host, no? In order to persist in the community. So if there is no significant survival advantage of that kind of mutation or variant, I mean, or a certain recombinant over the dominant circulating variant, though, so it will just eventually die out and disappear. So that was actually what happened to our theta and to other variants. If you can still remember, we were threatened by the variants such as the mu and lambda when was discovered in Peru na sinasabi sobrang dami din ng mutations. Pero let us remember na hindi it can each mutations can be inconsequential, meaning hindi din nangangahulugan na magiging successful yon. Pwede magiging harmful din yon sa part ng virus na baka hindi niya rin kaya makapag-survive at uh, cause pa ng further transmission from the rest of the other variants.
Thank you very much po, Doc, for enlightening us with how it really works. But ano po, I believe the head start ko na yung Q&A portion natin. And do know po na sabik ng ating mga audience para masagot po ninyo, Doc, ang kanilang mga katanungan. Kaya naman po, let's further proceed to the segment of the Q&A portion na talaga dahil na head start ko na siya. But before that po, tanungin ko lang mo po kayo, sir, if you are ready na. Handa na po ba kayo sa mga katanungan ng ating audience?
Okay. Yes. Okay. Experiencing sa amin mga infectious disease specialist, no? So talagang mahirap pagdaanan yung 2 years ng pandemic. Kasi syempre, bago lang yung virus, no? Halos lahat ng doktor ay takot. So parang we took the initiative syempre because we are the specialists for these kinds of diseases, no? And there are lots of updates na kinakailangan namin laging basahin para sa aming mga pasyente and para sa community. Madaming setbacks from the past 2 years, especially during the surges, no? So nandyan yung napakahirap na walang masyadong support, minsan nagkakaubusan ng mga medications, especially during the surges, no? And makikita mo how this virus is parang napakatalino niya, no? Kasi imagine, we started from Wuhan type ng yung original na COVID-19, and then it turned out na pagdating ng alpha, beta, and gamma, parang ang talino niya. Yung mga previous treatment namin, hindi na namin siya, parang hindi, mas nagiging less effective na. Then when Delta comes, sobrang devastating ng Delta, no? Na up to the point na hindi ang hirap-hirap niya ng gamutin, ano? Yung kanyang immune response and what it causes to the body of the patient, no? Severe ARDS or yung sobrang namamaga yung baga, no? Then nagkaroon na tayo ng vaccination and compare from the rest of the Southeast Asian nation, I think maganda-ganda naman ang ating naging standing natin when it comes to the vaccination. Kaya medyo naging maganda rin yung ating kumbaga sabihin na natin outcome nung dumating na yung Omicron, no? So nakita natin na somehow less yung ating yung effect ng Omicron sa iba nating pasyente and mostly sa ating sa population natin, no, because of our vaccination effort of the community as well as the government, no. And currently I think we're somehow in a good shape right now, no, kasi the positivity rate of the Omicron or the positivity rate of our COVID-19 is still low, no, compare from the past, our neighboring countries. I hope I answer
Uh,
your
yes.
question.
Opo. Thank you po, Doc. Thank you for sharing. But I think we should go more into the details na po about some ambiguous matters related to the topic and
Mhm.
hopefully magkaroon po ng clarifications para sa ating mga listeners. And dahil na-open nyo na po kanina yung mga symptoms ng prior variants, ano po, are there any new symptoms for these variants aside from the usual na alam po namin na ubo, sipon, yung mga ganun po? With the new variants introducing itself, meron po ba dapat kaming malaman pa na symptoms na dapat naming alalahanin, ganun po?
When COVID-19 started, no, we've seen, syempre wala pang tayong immunity sa SARS-CoV-2. And then, we've seen cases during that time na nagmamount talaga ng massive immune response yung mga pasyente na na-infect ng COVID-19. So, ang effect noon, iba't iba, multisystemic, and particularly it heavily affects our lungs, no? The lungs of our patients during that time. So nakikita natin na talagang pangit yung nagiging effect niya sa baga. So most of the time, yun ang nagiging manifestation ng previous COVID-19 variants natin. So more of a lower respiratory tract infection. And then from the subsequent variants, nakikita natin na nagkakaroon siya ng affectation sa iba't ibang pang parts ng body. Well, this is attributed because yung dinidikitan ng virus, yung ACE2 receptors, is widely distributed to our body, no? Kaya makikita nyo na meron tayong mga symptoms sa bakit more of respiratory yung virus pero may ibang patient na sinusugod sa hospital na nagkakaroon ng diarrhea, no? Or nadadialysis, no? Because ACE2 receptors, yun yung receptor na kinakabitan ng ng SARS-CoV-2, no? Are widely distributed. So, nakita natin yung iba't ibang involvement ng SARS-CoV-2, yung affectation niya. So from lungs, we've seen patients na nagkakaroon ng kidney involvement, neurologic sa utak, no, nagkakaroon ng encephalopathy. We've seen cases na nagkakaroon ng heart attack kasi yung blood vessels namamaga din likewise. So nakikita natin yon from alpha to beta and then from delta sa delta sobrang pangit um, ng respiratory symptoms niya. At the same time, we've seen also cases na ang daming thrombotic events, no? Madami nagkakaroon ng stroke, nagkakaroon ng uh, arterial diseases, occlusive diseases, no? At saka pangit yung yung lung involvement niya. And then later on, Omicron came, no? Nakita natin na more of upper respiratory tract na lamang yung kanyang involvement. Wala na masyadong involvement sa lungs, no? Pero more of ubo, no? Upper respiratory. So more of ubo, sipon, no? Flu-like illnesses. So, and this can be explained by the mutations, no, brought about by this Omicron variant. Well, so far, we do have these sublineages of the Omicron variant, no? As long as nagme-maintain kasi sa Omicron group, no, yung ating mga sublineages, no, ganun pa rin yung magiging manifestation natin. So if the Omicron per se, yung original na Omicron, which is yung BA.1, more of sa upper respiratory, talagang sore throat, ubo, no? And then flu-like symptoms. As of now, yun pa rin ang nagiging manifestation ng karamihan sa mga pasyente na nakikita natin na nare-report din sa iba't ibang part ng mundo.
In your professional opinion, what are the actions po that we could implement to reduce the possibilities of the virus to mutate given that it is their nature na to find its way to magbago yung kanilang characteristics and find its way talaga to mutate and be more intrusive sa immune system po natin?
we have tools at hand na, no? So it was already proven, and it was always being emphasized by World Health Organizations. We should always remember four factors that drives its transmission, because the interrelationship of factors, no, of these factors, is not just theoretical, and it's actually happening, no? So those four factors, we have to remember yung social mixing, no? Yung social mobilization. So alam natin na ang baba na ng alert level system natin ngayon, nasa alert level system 1 na, no? So nag-increase na yung yung social mobility natin. Pero what I can still advise, no, among our sa inyo, no, na kapag nagkakaroon tayo ng symptoms, wag nating baliwalain. If sa tingin natin na ito ay simpleng mild lang or flu lang or baka simpleng uh, uh, ubos-sipon lang, no, still uh, we still advise you to isolate, no, umiwas muna sa mga matataong lugar, just to protect yourself as well as your family, as well as uh, yung taong kinabibilangan mo, yung community. So kasi nandiyan na yung social mixing, nag-i-increase na, no? So and somehow kailangan naman natin talaga 'yon, no? So we have to be very cautious also when it comes to increasing in social mobilization, no? There are actually factors na hindi na natin control, katulad nung sa transport system natin, 'di ba? So ang hirap-hirap nahihirapan na tayong i-control. Pero if you're given a chance at an individual level of measure, if you have a chance na i-practice pa rin yung decrease in social mobilization or to decrease your social mixing, no, katulad na if hindi naman ganun ka-importante pa rin yung paglabas, no, so wag na din tayo masyadong lumabas, no. Well, given yung isang factor natin, yung virus at saka yung variants itself, no. The different variants already has showed us an increase in transmissibility that can overwhelm the healthcare system. Another factor would be we have to reduce, no, or inappropriately use. I mean, avoid the inappropriate use of our different tools, no, such as yung hindi paggamit ng mask, no, and I'm still uh, natutuwa pa rin ako na at least majority sa atin, no, nagmamask pa rin, no, tayo sa mga Pilipino. And then we have to look on these factors na we still have to at least kinakailangan pa rin natin pumunta sa mga well-ventilated na places, no? Avoiding indoor or closed spaces, as well as practicing social distancing. And another one would still be vaccine, no? Uh, Kahit marami na tayong mga variants na lumalabas sa atin, which nakikita natin na these variants can cause immune evasion, no? Somehow it would protect us from having a severe disease or having an hospitalization. So we're still encouraging most of the population to get their primary series, dun sa remaining percentage ng population. And for those individuals na hindi pa nagtitake ng primary nung booster shot, I mean, no, we still encouraging you to get your booster shots, no, lalo-lalo na if we are reaching the point na nagkakaroon na ng waning immunity, ano. So if you can still remember, it was last January noong peak or na nag-surge talaga yung ating cases na that we can attribute it to the Omicron variant. So for it has been how many months na? I think we've been reaching for months already, no? So in-expect na natin na yung immunity from Omicron may actually wane down, no? So it's about time for us, no, na if hindi pa kayo nagpapa-booster shots, no, I think we have to encourage everyone na wala pang booster shots before to get their booster shots already. If you have relatives who are in an immunocompromised state, mahina yung resistensya ng katawan. So sila parang yung nabibigyan ng authority ng FDA as well as ng DOH to receive their second dose of booster shots. So those are the things that we have to consider.
So I hope you guys really know the utmost importance ng vaccination, especially to those people na hindi pa fully vaccinated and to those anti-vaxxers talaga. And it
Or
is
wala
still
pang
our part,
booster. Oo.
it is still our
Yeah.
part as citizens of the world to play part being vaccinated para rin ma-lessen na talaga natin po yung spread ng COVID. And wag na nating hayaan na maubos pa natin yung Greek alphabet kasi nasa Omicron na ata tayo. So, wag natin
Yeah,
hayaang
oo.
maubusan tayo ng letters para lang magising tayo na we're really living in a different world na considering na we have COVID pa, despite na ano nga po tayo, Doc, what we call parang maayos na yung process of how people challenge this virus. Yun po.
Mhm.
Siguro po to top off our Q&A portion, meron pong question here na from an anonymous listener. Uh, they question that my family has become confident that they will not get COVID anymore because of the alert level 1 implemented by the government. So they have reduced their safety precautions, and this certain listener has been listening to news and nakarinig siya na mayroong new variant which has caused a lockdown in Shanghai. Tapos natatakot din po siya na if it were to spread in the Philippines, what can this certain listener say to their family, change their mindset about the situation na they have, yes, indeed reduced their safety precautions?
The effect of COVID-19, yung surges sa Shanghai is really devastating, 'di ba? If nakikita natin, no? So we have to make an effort into different levels of measures, no? So as in individual level, I think maganda na kausapin uli natin, no, yung mga kamag-anak natin regarding that, kung bakit kung if ever nagde-decrease. Naintindihan ko yung yung situation nung concerned na individual na nagtanong doon, no? Kasi kahit ako, yung mga kapatid ko, nagkakaroon parang nagre-reduce na rin yung kanilang precaution when it comes to COVID-19. Pero we still have to educate them, no? Na we have tools in hand already, and these are really proven, and we've seen the benefit of these tools at hand, no? So encourage those individuals who have already reached the point of parang nagre-reduce na yung kanilang mga safety precaution, no? Still mask up, no? As much as possible, take their vaccines or booster shots, no? Discuss with them the possible implications of another surge, no? We've been in pandemic for almost for more than 2 years already, and we've seen the complications of this COVID-19, no? Eh, ipaalala na lang uli natin sa kanila kung anong pwedeng maging effect ng COVID-19. Not just doon sa medical standpoint, pero on economic standpoint din, no? Kasi ang hirap magkasakit ngayon, no? We've seen and masyadong drained na rin ang bulsa ng mga tao, no? So, if nakikita man natin somehow na nagiging less na yung severity ng mga bagong variants, no? Ipaalala na lang natin ang implication noon economically, no? Kasi ang laki ng ginagastos natin whenever may chance tayo or nagkaroon tayo ng ng COVID-19 infection. And I think magandang way 'yun to discuss with the family members or to certain individuals who have uh, decreasing the safety measures, no? I mean safety precautions, no? Kasi iba ang economic impact kasi ng COVID-19, no? And then discuss also the possibility na 'wag tayong masyadong makampante, no? So far nakikita natin na baka maganda pa ang effect ng ano, I mean less pa yung effect ng Omicron, medyo hindi gano'n severe yung illness, no? But that may be attributed to a good vaccination effort during that time and a good immunity, eh. So hindi natin masasabi for the next few months kung ano ang mga possibilities natin. So we have to still discuss it among their family members, ano. And should in case that BA.2 as well as BA.3, BA.4 and BA.5 reach our shores, no? And magkaroon uli ng surge, no? Mahihirapan na naman tayo makabangon, no? So parang ground zero na naman and ayaw na natin 'yun. So kailangan natin emphasize sa kanila na wag na tayong bumalik doon sa pagkakataon na 'yon. It's about time na paigtingin pa natin, wag nating alam mo 'yon, the virus has been holding us for some time and we have to take our part, no? To keep that COVID-19 infection down. So, kinakailangan pa rin natin paigtingin yung mga measures na yon. Very simple lang naman yung COVID-19 measures natin. Mask up, no? Social distancing, improve our ventilation. If you haven't received your booster shots, get them, no? Para somehow, no, i-decrease natin yung transmissibility and yung mga possibility na magkaroon pa ng mga future variants.
Thank you po, Doc. Thank you very much. And truly, I believe that caps off our Q&A portion. And if I must say, I am really enlightened with today's discussion. And sobrang dami ko pong natutunan, especially on how we have delineated the yung naging spread ng COVID from the alpha to what we have now, yung mga Omicron sublineages like that. And the things na how it really mutates. Hindi lang siya simple magkasakit yung tao, ganito po yung mga nangyayari. It's really, there's a complex issue on how it mutates and how we as individuals can help to stop the spread of mutation like that. And that's why we are truly grateful po, Dr. Garcia, for your presence and syempre for sharing your wisdom to us. And as much as I would like to extend our talk and cover more of this topic, ano po, I'm sad to say that we have reached the end of this podcast. Would you like to say a few words po, Doc, before I end?
So, for the past 2 years, devastating yung effects sa atin ng COVID-19, no? So, it's about and we've reached to a certain point na nag-i-improve na yung ating status somehow. So, wag na natin pakawalan yung chances na yon, no? So, nag-i-improve na, i-continue na lang natin, no? Para hindi na tayo balik to ground zero again. So, again, yung basic or yung minimum public health precautions natin, i-continue natin para little by little makikita na natin yung effect na mako-combat na natin yung COVID-19 pandemic.
Once again po, thank you, Doc Garcia, for being here with us today. And thank you so much to our listeners for tuning in and learning more about the COVID alphabet. I hope this episode has been an eye-opener. Have a good day, everyone. And this has been JPIA Talks, Usapan sa Espanya, signing off.